So, well, tonight um, I I thought I would speak a little bit about a very wonderful sutta. Now I say that every time, so you can't really uh, base anything on that because they're all wonderful suttas to me. But this one in particular is fairly good, and it's a sutta that is talking about the different kind of assemblies, but mainly how to enter a meditative state which the Buddha called Samadhi, which is this wonderful, calm, collected composure of mind uh, with friendship, with beautiful friendship. And there's this wonderful sutta where he explains this, and I thought I would read this before the meditation so that we could use this and hopefully be uplifted and then flow very easily into the metta. And therefore it starts like this. Bhikkhus, there are these three kinds of assemblies. What three? The assembly of the foremost, the divided assembly, and the harmonious assembly. And what, monks, is the assembly of the foremost? Here in this kind of assembly, the elder monks do not become luxurious and lax, and discard backsliding and take the lead into solitude. When the Buddha talks about solitude, he talks about meditation mostly. And they arouse energy for the attainment of the as yet unattained, and for the achievement of the as yet unachieved, and for the realization of the as yet unrealized. And this is talking about the family of the Sangha, but please take this context and put it into your own context of your own family. And the leaders here are you. It's the same thing in the Sangha and in your own family. When the people that are the head of the family are taking the lead into wholesomeness, the whole family and the whole generations to come also follow into that. And so this is speaking about the Sangha, but this is broader context. Those in the next generation follow their example. They too do not become luxurious and lax, but discard backsliding and take the lead in solitude, meditation. They too arouse energy for the attainment of the as yet unattained, for the achievement of the as of yet unachieved, for the realization of the as of yet unrealized. This is called the assembly of the foremost. So in the best of world, this is what would happen. And the Buddha in other suttas advised that this kind of attitude is how the sasana, the teaching, will stay for longer, and how virtue, the Dhamma, will stay for longer. But in Western words, this simply means virtue, generosity, loving kindness, forgiveness, compassion towards one another. And so that's what Dhamma means, really. And what is the divided assembly? Here, the assembly in which the monks take to arguing and quarreling and fall into dispute, stabbing each other with piercing words. That is called the divided assembly. Unfortunately, this is an option, but it's the shortest here, and we're not going to stay too long. And what is the harmonious assembly? Here, the assembly in which the monks dwell in concord, harmonious and without disputes, blending like milk and water, viewing each other with eyes of affection, is called the harmonious assembly. And this is how we train within the Sangha. But once again, take this into your own family context. This is the family of the Sangha, but it is not restricted to that. And in fact, I chose this because it's a wonderful example of harmonious living within our own families, our own Sangha, our own communities. But the monks make a particular effort to develop and cultivate this, and to develop this forgiveness towards one another, this smooth flow, this communication. And when something is wrong, we not to fall into blaming and arguing, and to just be, and to know that this would just only bring us more hurt and more harm, and would simply be a hindrance to us. And to simply cultivate harmony. And the Buddha used this simile quite a lot, blending together like milk and water, which is quite wonderful. When the monks dwell in concord, harmoniously, without disputes, blending like milk and water, viewing each other with eyes of affection, on that occasion they generate much merit. And this is not just monks, this is you in your family context too. When this is happening, when the family is harmonious, when there's no arguing, when there's helping is prevalent, giving, generosity, listening, that is also giving. It's one of the highest kind of giving is listening. Giving of your time, giving of your attention. And that's hard to give. That's the hardest. And when we practice this kind of generosity, harmony can prevail much easier. And on that occasion, the monks dwell in the divine abode, that is, the liberation of mind through altruistic joy. And this is one of the 4 Brahma Viharas. And Brahma Vihara means the abodes, the divine abodes, or the celestial abodes. And what that means is that Brahma, which was the supreme entity or the supreme consciousness at that time, in this spiritual context at the time of the Buddha, with the Vedas and what was prevalent at that time, it was said that this entity or Godhead or God only dwelled in 4 states. And now please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is a skillful way that the Buddha used to take a teaching that was already present and to turn it into something very wholesome. And when we speak of these celestial abodes, is that Brahma was said, or God was said, to only abide in 4 states: love, compassion, altruistic joy, and steadiness and calm. And there was no other states possible for Brahma to live in. And when we practice loving kindness, metta, it is one of the Brahma Viharas, and there are 4. We can also cultivate compassion, joy, and equanimity or calm. And these states of mind are very, very, very powerful. They are very uplifting, and they do not necessarily come in an order from love, compassion, joy, and steadiness, but they also do in a certain way. And perhaps those who will be perhaps we will have a retreat at some point. We are going to, but not everybody will attend. this becomes a little bit clearer on retreat, and we will go through these four, or almost. Usually, most meditators will go through most of these states, and it is possible to experience these states while being with other people. And that's why good friendship, beautiful friendship, wise friendship was so praised by the Buddha as the beginning of the path, the whole of the path. Because when we are able to experience this in our environment, that's why the Sangha is so important for the monks, and that's why family is so important too. That we can be in that state all the time. We don't have to come out. This is also meditation. And we can sit down and go deeper and practice deeper. Yes, that is very true. But we can also bring this state into everything that we do. Then he says, when one is joyful, rapture arises, or bliss. For one with a rapturous mind, the body becomes tranquil. One tranquil in body feels pleasure. For one feeling pleasure or happiness, the mind becomes collected. And you've heard this sequence before. I've said it many, many times. And this is how the Buddha taught meditation, taught the way to Samadhi, collectedness, tranquility of mind. Not by forcing the attention on a single point, but in fact, generating. That's what bhavana means, is to produce, to generate, to train, to cultivate, to develop wholesome states of mind, like loving kindness, joy, compassion, which are imbued with joy and are completely wholesome. And the nature of these states is that the mind will become very, very, very composed and calm. And this is how to enter the first level of meditation and collectedness of mind. I was talking with my upajjhaya, my preceptor, Bhante Ānanda at Mahabodhi Society in Bangalore. And every time we talk, it's very happy, very, very uplifted. I ask him how he's doing and how is the Sangha at Mahabodhi. And Mahabodhi Society is a charitable society run by lay people and also monks. And we speak of how many families, how many hundreds of families they've helped, given food, they've supported in these hard times. And I will speak about how the wonderful generosity that is happening here, so many opportunities, so many things. And as we speak, things are very flowy, very easy, very uplifted, very very calm. There's no finding faults, or there's no doubt. There's only speaking about Dhamma. There's only speaking about generosity. There's speaking about holding our virtue. There's speaking about meditation, how people are progressing on their path. We speak about that. And we There's this Pali word that we use is called anumodana, and this means rejoicing in other people's happiness. And this is an actual Buddhist practice. And it is very important. And as we learn to see this and to cultivate this and to feed this into our relationships, things become just wonderful. And we are able, at that time, when we live harmoniously with an uplifted mind, with a caring and loving mind for everybody around us, we are at that time dwelling in meditation, in Samadhi, in one of the Brahma Viharas. And it's not complicated, and it's very simple. Now, when there's judgments, talking about, oh, I like this, I don't like that, opinions, and that's not it. But when there is mutual sympathy and upliftment in the Dhamma, upliftment in goodness, then we can really taste the teaching. Even though we're not sitting in meditation, that doesn't matter. We can still experience these Brahma Viharas, the celestial abidings. And then he gives a simile, and he says, just as when it is raining and the rain pours down in thick droplets on a mountaintop, the water flows down along the slope and fills the clefts, the gullies, and the creeks. These becoming full, fill up the pools. These becoming full, they fill up the lakes. These becoming full, fill up the streams. These becoming full, they fill up the rivers. And these becoming full, fill up the ocean. So too monks, when the monks dwell in concord, harmoniously, without disputes, blending like milk and water, viewing each other with kindly eyes. On that occasion, monks, they generate much merit. On that occasion, the monks dwell in a divine abiding, that is, the liberation of mind through altruistic joy. And now I invite you to bring this wonderful teaching and into your presence, into your own awareness, and close your eyes gently and take a position that feels comfortable to you. And let go, just relax. And smile. Allow yourself to detach from everything that happened to you today. Just let it go. Whatever it was. Or during the past week. Or whatever plans you have on your mind for tomorrow or next week. Just let it go for now. And smile. Enjoy this present moment where you're surrounded by virtuous friendship, good companions, We gather here with these talks, and everybody is smiling and everybody's happy. How fortunate you are, how fortunate we are to be able to experience this. How fortunate we are to have this wonderful karma. All meet here right now and meet in virtue, in the Dhamma. Simply relax and smile. Whatever is happening in your life right now, it's okay. But right now it's easy. Right now it's happy. Is there any tension anywhere in your body? In your forehead or your temples, your neck, your jaw? And now you're probably thinking, well, you want me to smile, so it's tensed. But that's okay. Just continue smiling. It's a good tension. That will help you. But aside from the smile, in your shoulders, in your back, in your abdomen, relax any tension that you feel in your body. And notice the relief and enjoy the relief. Smile. As we do this slowly, the 7 factors of awakening arise slowly and get stronger. First there is mindfulness or awareness. Then we're experiencing the Dhamma through the releasing the tension. And repeating this is that effort, virya. The effort of letting go, the effort of relaxing. The effort here is to remember to let go of the tension and to let it go constantly and to smile and enjoy the release. And this is the 4th factor, the middle one, joy. Yes, joy is a factor of awakening, the Buddha taught. Very important. And as we relax and let go of the tension, bring up joy, feel joy, the mind becomes very happy, and when the mind is happy, it is tranquil. The 5th, passaddhi. And almost at the same time this is happening, the mind becomes collected because it is tranquil. Samadhi. And as the mind is relaxed, joyful, tranquil, and collected, it becomes very steady. Upekkha, the 7th factor. And this is how the factors work. The loving kindness that we usually practice comes in and strengthens that. Giving the whole chain a little boost. And the Buddha said, don't be afraid of the joy, don't be afraid of the joy and the happiness that come from developing these states. In fact, it's by developing joy and happiness for these states that we will progress on the path. So smile, enjoy, and relax. You might notice the awareness of your body becomes clearer and clearer as the mind relaxes and loses its tension. That is normal. That is the Dhamma. That is what is supposed to happen. Some teachers and teachings say, do not be attached to that joy. That we shouldn't expect that joy nor cultivate it, and that in fact it's dangerous. Many teachers and teachings say that. And this is in fact not what the Buddha taught in the earliest texts. The closest evidence that we have to the Buddha himself and what he taught, in fact, this is quite contrary to his teaching. The Buddha is in fact very clear that we should cultivate this joy because it is blameless. And a joyful mind, an uplifted mind, is content. It is happy. It is not flowing out. And it's not about controlling. It's not about restricting. And it is a joy that is untouchable, unshakable. We need absolutely nothing to experience that joy. We only need to sit. Or as I've just read in that sutta, not even need to sit. By cultivating loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy, is also part of meditation. And this loving kindness, this compassion, this joy, they're very close together. They're not that different. A little bit, but not that different. And they all strengthen one another. And whenever you are ready, you can bring up this warm, radiant feeling in the center of your chest. This feeling of love. Let go of everything else. Just relax. And dive into this profound feeling in your heart. And smile. Feel it suffusing your whole body, radiating, imbuing its light in your whole body. From your toes to your fingers to the top of your head, from the surface of your skin to the marrow in your bones. Love. If your mind is behaving like a crazy monkey or a wild creature running around, just laugh. Just laugh at your own mind. Don't take it too seriously. It doesn't matter. The way it's going to calm down is by not taking it seriously and by not according it so much importance. The mind in the Buddha's teaching is just another of the sense faculties that we in fact learn to relax and let go of. Yes, it is possible. And it is extremely blissful. The calming of the mind is much happiness. And you might notice that as you let go of the wild monkey mind, the tension in the mind, there's more and more space for love. And the awareness of love can be less distracted and more steady, more established. Upatana. And the feeling of love is not doing its best when it's only restricted to the body. The feeling of love at its best is when it is shared to all living beings in all of space. And so simply allow it to flow out, beam out. Everywhere in front of you, in all of space. Not so much like pushing, but more like opening up the curtain. Just allow it to beam out. No need to push. Stay right where you are. And allow it to beam out everywhere behind you. Like turning on the light switch. Everywhere to your left. Love. Everywhere to your right, in all of space. Love. Now what we are doing here is that we are opening up the mind completely, like a flower, blooming. But not only just that, because it tends to be forcing all day, trying to do our work, trying to do the things that we need to do. It tends to be contracted. It tends to be constricted. But what we're doing right now is breaking it open. The Buddha did not call it the liberation of the mind through loving kindness for no reason. And like this, we are learning to liberate our minds slowly. Everywhere above, to all of space. And everywhere below, to all of space. Just love. Doesn't matter who did what to who, when, where, how. Now just love. In all directions. All 6 directions. At the same time. with a smile. And remember not to try so hard. Love is not about pushing. Love is about being happy and sharing that happiness. It's about giving. That's why smiling is very important. That will make sure that you do have something to give. We can't give love to others if we don't feel the love and the happiness ourselves. That's why we always begin with ourselves. If your mind is crazy, if it wanders around, just relax, let go, smile, and love again. What a gift to your whole family this is. What a gift to society. And what a gift to yourself. Notice how good it feels to not have an opinion, but just to love. Not to have a particular condition for the love, but just to love. These judgments, opinions, conditions are just getting in the way. Just let them be, relax, and just love. Love also means giving. Love also means forgiving. In fact, love is for giving. And I invite you to continue kindling this wonderful feeling and to carry it into your own life. And to be like the first assembly, the foremost assembly. Leaders in goodness. Not waiting for others to do it, but do it yourself. And practice your generosity. And that means giving your love, giving your forgiveness, giving your compassion, giving your wisdom in some cases. Helping others, not hurting others. That is the highest generosity. And that is practicing the path, patipada, of the Buddha's teaching. And now if there's any question, is a good time to ask. And if not, well, all of you are most definitely welcome on Sunday here at the Kuti, or there are markets now every Saturdays I will be going to the market. So if you have any questions, you can come there too. And Wednesday tomorrow also, but might not be every Wednesday, depending. All right. Well, good to see you all, and I hope all the best for you for this next week or until we see each other again. And please take good care of yourselves and of the people around you, of course. And I will share this aspiration and merit with all living beings. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty powers, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha Sasana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.